Peter Kiewit transformed a small Omaha, Nebraska construction company, Peter Kiewit Sons, Inc., into one of North America's largest and most respected contractors. In 1931, at the age of 30, Kiewit became president of the company. At the same time, America was facing the Great Depression, leading to limited building work that would often go at or below cost. Seeing the need and opportunity for change, Kiewit shifted the firm's emphasis to the heavy highway market. Transportation work rapidly became the largest portion of Kiewit's business, and remains so to this day. Entering this new line of work and expanding to other regions, the company was ready when it was time to build the U.S. interstate highway system after World War II. Under Kiewit's leadership, the firm built more lane miles of the original system than any other contractor, prompting Forbes magazine to call him the Colossus of Roads. Before his death, he requested his personal estate be used to establish a foundation. The Peter Kiewit Foundation has awarded more than $640 million in grants and scholarships since its founding in 1979. The son of Japanese immigrants, Northern Waimanetta was confined with his family in an internment camp in Wyoming during World War II. It was there that he vowed to serve his country throughout his life, and he did. He began his public life as a member of the city council and then mayor of San Jose, California. Serving in the U.S. House of Representatives for 20 years, Mineta chaired the Aviation and Surface Transportation subcommittees, rising to become chairman of the Public Works and Transportation Committee. In 1991, he was the principal author of the Intermodal Surface Transportation Efficiency Act, which provided a then record federal service transportation investment. In 2000, President Clinton appointed him the Secretary of Commerce, making him the nation's first Asian American cabinet member. In a historical rarity, he stayed in the cabinet under an administration of the opposite party, when President Bush appointed him to be his only Democratic cabinet member as U.S. Secretary of Transportation. He served 5.5 years in that position. He played a high profile in response to the September 11, 2001 terror attacks, grounding all aircraft in U.S. airspace to save lives. Following his retirement, Mineta has continued to strive to serve his country in numerous ways, including the establishment of the Mineta Transportation Institute at San Jose State University. He has been awarded the Japanese government's Grand Cordon Order of the Rising Sun and the United States Presidential Medal of Freedom. Jim Peterson, Vice President of Wisconsin-based James Peterson Sons, Inc., has been a national, state, and local transportation construction advocate for more than 50 years. In the 1970s, during an era of diminishing transportation-related revenues, Peterson led an industry effort to educate the public about these negative impacts on motorists and the economy. He helped garner bipartisan support in the state legislature to boost infrastructure investment. One of the hallmarks of his leadership is the ability to get a return phone call from governors, regardless of political party, when it was necessary to discuss pending infrastructure issues. His tireless work in the 70s and 80s laid the groundwork that resulted in T21's minimum guarantee and Safety Lou's equity bonus programs, which helped generate tens of millions of dollars in additional Wisconsin highway investment. At the national level, Jim was 2003 chairman of the Road Information Program. He's been an Artba director for decades and the 2000 Contractors Division president. He's also a recipient of the Nello Tier Award, Artba Contractors Division's highest honor. The story of John, Washington, and Emily Warren Roebling is one of bravery, heroism, and triumph over great obstacles. Without this famous family, the iconic Brooklyn Bridge might not have come to pass. John Roebling, an immigrant from Berlin, was a civil engineer with decades of experience in road and bridge construction. A pioneer in wire rope bridge supports, he developed the modern suspension bridge and is responsible for the design and construction of numerous spans throughout the United States. He began work on the new Brooklyn Bridge in 1867. He was joined by his son Washington, who had distinguished himself both in combat and military infrastructure design with the 83rd New York Artillery Battery during the Civil War. The elder Roebling died following an accident at the bridge site, and Washington took charge of the Brooklyn Bridge's construction as chief engineer. In 1870, fire broke out in one of the caissons, where he directed the efforts to extinguish the flames. During the rescue, he contracted decompression sickness, rendering him bedridden. As the only person to visit her husband during his sickness, Emily relayed information to the project team. She developed an extensive knowledge of stress analysis, cable construction, and advanced mathematics. For the decade after Washington took to his sickbed, Emily's dedication to the completion of the Brooklyn Bridge was unyielding. She took over most of the chief engineer's duties, including day-to-day supervision and project management. Emily managed many politicians, competing engineers, and all of those associated with the work on the bridge, to the point where people believed she was behind the bridge's design. The Brooklyn Bridge was completed in 1883.